Hey, what's going on everyone? Axel here, back for another Smash video. In this one I wanted to lay out my Smash 4 tier list for patch 1.1.5. Why am I making this video? The main reason is it's just really fun to talk about. And two, I just want to lay out my opinion as sort of a mid-level-ish player and as a huge fan of the professional Smash scene and the big tournament scene. So this is my opinion in terms of some of my thoughts, but mostly based on results and what I've seen from the top players. And before I start, I want to say that I'm not making this and expecting it to be like 100% accurate or anything. That would be ridiculous, especially since I'm not a top player, so I don't pretend to have all the knowledge that certain other players do. I am a pretty good player. I should be ranked my state's PR when it comes out next. In the top 10. I do pretty well at tournaments. I'm somewhat like a mid-level player. I'm not a top player. So if you want to take the stance that I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm not a top player, that's fine. There's actually nothing I can do to refute that. But regardless of how accurate this may or may not be, I'm going to lay out my thoughts anyway. Again, because it's fun to talk about, and why not? So the way I'm going to lay this video out, I'm going to do a series of videos. This one's going to just be the top tiers, which I will lay out in the format of SS and S, and let's go ahead and pick a good color here. So in the SS tier, I'm going to put Bayonetta, Cloud, where's Cloud, and Rosalina. Now the SS tier, I define these characters as being overpowered and kind of broken. These characters to me are clearly the three best in the game. You could shove around Cloud or Rosa, I think, but to me, I think what we're seeing both in the competitive scene, not just the top players, but also from mid-level scenes, as these characters are really doing well, and they seem to really separate themselves from other characters. So these three characters basically are three characters honestly in need of further nerfs. Definitely, I don't think that's really, if you talk to a pro player or really good players who know what they're talking about, it's pretty clear these characters are not very balanced. They all have very strong matchup spreads skewed heavily in their favor. So let's start with Bayonetta. Bayonetta, yeah, the DLC character that the community is really mad about, and for good reason. She has some insane traits about her. Her combo game is just, it's broken. Let's just say what it is. It's broken. It's completely ridiculous. Now, if you don't have experience, I have experience against excellent Bayonettas. There's a really good one. I think he's from Kentucky who traveled in state for a tournament who I played a lot of friendlies with. Like, a great Bayonetta will just make you feel helpless, like you can't do anything, because if she touches you with her side B angled downwards or grounded side B or her up B or honestly a lot of other moves, anything that gets you popped up in the air, you are basically facing two scenarios. One, the worst case scenario, of course, is you die off the top, and that can happen at any percent. It can happen at 0%. We've seen this a lot. If you want to search for a good Vine on this, go search for what happened to MVD in his set. I think it was at Pound. No, it wasn't at Pound. It was one of the big tournaments recently against Pink Fresh. But she can kill you at 0%, and that on its own just makes her the best character in the game, because all she has to do is touch you. It really doesn't matter. Some of her cons, like her neutral, people say is not the best, but well, is it really? She still has back airs and stuff. She still has neutral airs and stuff, but in the end, it doesn't really matter much, because all she has to do is touch you one time, and even if she doesn't kill you off the top, you're at minimum against a good Bayo who knows how to link the combo moves. You're at minimum going to take big percent, like at best case scenario. So on top of that, she can fish for these combos very safely with her side B, which is safe on very safe on shield. Her ratio of risk to reward is skewed highly in her favor. And then you have stuff like Witch Time, which is by far the best counter in the game. There's just so many things she can do to kill you instantly. Her punish game is just through the roof so far that it really overshadows any negatives she might have. She also has other ridiculous stuff like her downer, which can spike, and her jab, which is like, even though it comes out at a later frame, does like 22% or something. Just a ridiculous character. And you might say, well, how can you put her at #1 in the game if she doesn't have results. Like, she's not winning a lot. Well, she's done really well in Japan. In America, no, she doesn't have quite the results yet, but that's due mainly to the soft ban that's on her right now. If you don't know what a soft ban is, it's not a Bayonetta is. There are a few places that have banned her, but for the most part, in most all scenes in the U.S. at least, there's a soft ban. That means she is legal to play, but top players are not playing her because basically boycotting the character because they know she's broken and they know that playing her would be bad for the game. That's why you aren't seeing tons of top players picking her up like you did, say, like pre-patch Sheik, who we have tons of top players playing her, but she wasn't like broken to the extent Bayonetta is. So she's a character that I'm sure will get nerfed in the future. I guarantee you that Nintendo will do a patch and nerf her combo game, do something to tone that down. Because the outrage has just been too much. There probably will be a patch 1.1.6. I'd be extremely surprised if there wasn't. Okay, now after Bayonetta, let's move on to Cloud and Rosalina. Now these two characters pretty close. You could put Rosa at 2, you could put Cloud at 3. But I think these do have to be 2 and 3 at this point, basically based on their matchup spreads. And their matchup spreads are why I put Cloud above Rosalina. So let's talk about Cloud. He has an amazing matchup spread. He doesn't lose to anyone except Bayonetta, and he might go even with a few other characters. There's a couple characters like Pikachu and Mario that can really take advantage of his recovery. Most characters really can't do a whole lot against his recovery, and I'll talk about, you might think that's ridiculous, but I'll talk about that here in a minute. Just hear me out. Cloud, let's talk about his great traits. The thing that makes Cloud broken is, well, actually, it's two things. The first one is limit and limit camping. He has the best neutral in the whole entire game because every single character is forced to approach him most of the time. If he does not have a full limit charge, you have to approach him because you can't just sit there and let him charge his limit for free because his power as a character goes way up when he has limit. 2, throughout Smash, ever since the beginning of Smash, really, in 64 and Melee, sword characters have been balanced by having an appropriate ratio of lag to disjoint size assigned to them. And Cloud breaks this notion, breaks this general rule that's always existed in Smash. Like in Melee, in Brawl, sword characters like Marth and such, because of their high disjoint, they are assigned more lag, a fair amount of lag to make up for that. Cloud doesn't have this. He has some lag on his aerials, but the ratio of lag to disjoint size is skewed much more heavily in his favor than it has been for any other sword character throughout the game. And you see this with other sword characters like Marth have his disjoint smaller and he has a fair amount of lag. Ike has quite a bit of lag, but he has a lot of range and power. King Dedede has a lot of lag assigned to his disjoints. Cloud doesn't. He has extremely good frame data for his disjoints. So that combined with the best neutral really makes him broken because in so many circumstances you're forced to approach Cloud and you just can't because of how he can stuff so many characters out. And then let's go to limit. That aside, even if Cloud didn't have limit, he'd still be an excellent character. But he has limit on top of all this. And limit, the main thing with limit is his side B, his limit side B cross slash, which kills really early and is really hard to punish. It has like 22 frames of lag, something on the in lag, but the in lag's not that much. It's really hard to punish, and near the edge, you see a lot of Clouds especially jumping off stage and using limit cross slash, killing people stupid early, or using it against the stage, or just getting people on ledge get-ups. Limit cross slash kills like really, really early, like 70-80%. And Cloud gets it a lot because it's not all that hard to charge your limit full. Like you get a limit charge every like 20-30 seconds. So he has a lot of opportunities to kill you. In addition, he has probably the best up air in the game. Either that or Rosalina's, they're both really good. His up air is ridiculous. His hitbox size on his up air is absurd, especially considering the great frame data on it. He can juggle people for days, one of the best juggling games, period. And then he also has really good smashes. His forward smash comes out pretty quick. It's multi-hit, so it can get through a lot. So you can't like spot dodge it. It gets through stuff like Ryu's focus attack, and has ridiculously strong knockback. So Cloud just has so many tools. He has so many broken aspects of his lag compared to his disjoint size, and then he has limit, which is ridiculous. This is why he's an SS top 3 character. Now let's talk about his weaknesses. The obvious weakness with Cloud is his recovery, but it's actually very underrated. If you play a very good Cloud, which I've played a lot of really good Clouds who know what they're doing, it's actually very difficult to mess with Cloud upstage. Yes, if you get him in a position to force him to use his up B, you can gimp him. And there are certain characters that do this much better than others, like Mario with Flood and Cape, Pikachu with his projectile. But generally, Cloud's recovery is hard to mess with because of the size of the disjoint on the up B, and the vertical distance is actually pretty good. And on top of all this, if he has a limit, he has like the best recovery in the game. So it's actually really hard, and there's a lot of stuff good Clouds can do to mix up their recoveries, like side B stalls. They have wall jump. It's not as easy. It's really actually difficult to get Cloud in position to gimp him, and he has a very underrated recovery. Now it's not a good recovery, but it's not a terrible recovery. It's like average. There's plenty of other characters in this game that are easier to edgeguard who have worse recoveries. Examples: Captain Falcon, Ganondorf, Olimar. I would even put like Rob, Diddy Kong up there as like having worse recoveries than Cloud, just because they don't have that humongous disjoint that protects you. So really the only weakness this character has is the lack of horizontal movement on Zuppy, but that's like something that good Clouds definitely work around, and you see them work around it. So alright, so that's it for Cloud. Let's move on to Rosalina. Rosalina is broken because of Luma's base knockback, which is ridiculous. Luma's like the best character in the game, honestly. Luma, it's ridiculous. Like Rage Luma especially just is absurd. Rosalina's up air can kill you at like 20%. I've seen, actually on a Xanadu stream, I saw like King DDD die at like 30% off the top. And even if you're not at the very top of the screen, she can sometimes get a confirm up throw to up air off a grab and kill people at like 80%. It's actually pretty disgusting. In addition to that, like a lot of Luma moves, like her forward smash or down air, can kill you absurdly early. Like especially if you get like down air off the side. And on top of this, the character has such good priority on all her moves because they're so disjointed. Her up air is disjointed, her down air is pretty much disjointed. They have like projectile priority, which is ridiculous. And then of course Luma is disjointed, and there's a lot of range there with Luma. Luma is a meat shield, so even though Rosalina is like one of the lightest characters in the game, she doesn't play that way because Luma will absorb so much of her damage. She actually plays more like a mid-weight. What else? She has great edge guarding. Her down air is ridiculous range. She has stuff like Luma. She can neutral B it off the side, and you see the Buzz do that a lot, where you can cover like all the ledge options with Luma. She has grab release, kill confirm stuff. She has so many good tools, so many spacing tools. It's also really hard to get in on her. She has her down B absorb, which honestly negates tons of characters, like projectile based characters. She's actually just a really stupid character. She has some weaknesses, and she loses some matchups, which is why I put her below Cloud. I think her matchup spread's a little bit worse than Cloud because she loses to like Zero Suit, she loses to Meta Knight, she loses to Cloud, she loses to Bayonetta probably. What else? Those are her main trouble matchups, I believe. Cloud, on the other hand, really only loses to Bayonetta and might go even with a few others, but that's about it. So that's it for the SS tier. Again, these are the characters that I think are clearly the best 3 characters in the game and could use some nerfs. So let's move on to the S tier characters. These characters are also extremely good and could probably use some nerfs, but they aren't on the same level. They aren't broken by any means like the SS characters are. So in the S tier, I put, where's he at? Diddy Kong, Zero Suit, Samus. If I can find her, Zero Suit. There she is. And Sheik. Okay. So this is my 4, 5, and 6. Let's talk about Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong is the most slept on top tier. he's a lot better than people think. Most people put him at 7 or 8, and there's this attitude in the community that Diddy Kong is balanced just because he's been nerfed so many times. Well, not really. The thing that makes Diddy Kong like extremely good is his neutral, which is second best in the game in my opinion, only to Cloud. When Diddy's banana is just so damn good, it's the best item in the game. Like when Diddy has a banana, he's so terrifying. He can get so much stuff off a banana. And there's so many. When Diddy has a banana, you really have to play really lame and try to bait him to get rid of it, because you can't do anything in neutral against a Diddy that has a banana, really. Because if he throws a banana at you and get hit, obviously you're getting grabbed or smashed attacked. If you shield it, there's going to be enough shield and Diddy's quick enough on the ground for him to run up and grab you and then do like 20-30% off a combo. Even if you perfect shield it, he's so fast that he can often get a grab off of it. So he puts you in this really bad situation. There's really no like safe. Shield's not safe. Getting hit with banana obviously isn't safe. It's so hard to do anything against Diddy in neutral. And not only that, he has one of the best forward airs in the game. His forward air has ridiculous priority and is super fast. Even though they've nerfed his kill power, they haven't really took away any of his tools. They just made him have to play neutral for longer to get the same results as pre-patch Diddy. So basically he's broken because of his godly neutral, and well, I don't want to say broken. I don't think he's broken. He's just extremely good. He's extremely good because of his neutral and his scrap game. He also has just a plethora of options to cover. Like you can't really camp him because he has stuff like Monkey Flip and Peanuts to mess with you on platforms. He has pretty decent edge guarding with his down air and Peanuts, and he can do like banana setups at the ledge, stuff like that. But yeah, he's just an overall great character, and we're seeing him underrated just because he's been nerfed so many times. People think he's balanced, but if you look objectively at his results, like look at what Zero's done with Diddy Kong. He's massacred all of the top Sheiks. Pre-patch Sheik, by the way, pre-patch 1.1.5, he decimated all of them with Diddy Kong. We're seeing players like Zenodo win huge tournaments regularly with Diddy Kong. Like, he's an extremely good character who's slept on, who's I think is top 5, whereas most players might put him at like 7 or 8 or 9. So let's move on to the next character, Zero Suit Samus. Zero Suit Samus has been toned down a lot in nerfs, which is why she slipped down to number 5. She could even be a little bit lower. You could possibly put a few other characters above her, but she still has what makes her good. It's just takes longer to get those options to kill now. Like her up B has been nerfed quite a bit in the last few patches. It goes, instead of going straight up now, it goes a lot more sideways, so it doesn't kill as early. Stuff like her like down B, down smash to down B spikes, stuff like that has been made harder to hit. She's seen a lot of changes that have toned her down, but she still has all of her tools that are still there. Like she can still kill you early off stage with down B. She can still kill you early with up Bs. She still has her great combo game. She still has her pretty decent neutral, not the best, but decent. She still has all of her really strong punish options. They just don't work till later now. They're a little harder to pull off. So she's still good, just not amazing anymore. She's not like top 2 anymore, top 3. Let's move on to Sheik, who I put as the last S tier character. And I kind of contemplated putting Sheik below in like A tier, but I think for now it's a little too early to do that. But Sheik, one thing we can say for sure is she was made much, 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 much worse on 1.1.5. What made Sheik such a good character is her frame data in neutral, which I think she has the 3rd best neutral now in the game. I think Cloud and Diddy Kong have better neutrals. What made her so good is her frame data and her neutral. She could rack up damage safely, and then she could get guaranteed kill confirms, or 50-50 kill confirms from her down throw. But with all her changes, her neutral's been toned down, needles don't go as far, she can't combo with her forward throw as well. But the big thing that really, really hurts Sheik is the down throw nerf. Because with the down throw, she used to have 50-50 kill confirms. She could either down throw you and either get you with an up air, or if you air dodge, she could hit you with her up B. But now she can't do that because down throw has a higher growth, so it sends the opponent too far to get any kill confirms, any 50-50 kill confirms off of it. So that means that Sheik now is very prone to getting janked out by rage, and she actually has trouble killing now because her smash attacks are strong, and they actually did buff the down smash, even though it doesn't matter too much. They buffed down smash a little bit in 1.1.5, but she actually has trouble killing, and the thing that makes her not that great anymore is she's still amazing, but she's not like top tier, like super like best in the game anything anymore. Is because she really is not going to be able to kill anybody unless she gets a gimp or a bouncing fish off the side of the stage until like 120, 130, 140. So matchups against a lot of characters like say like Lucario and Donkey Kong got a lot worse for her, because these characters, while she can juggle them and dominate neutral all day, all they need is that one read. Like Donkey Kong is a one grab, and he can kill Sheik at 60% off a grab. Or maybe Lucario, who's now going to live to like absurdly high aura percents and get like just one read, can kill Sheik really early. So Sheik is actually a really stressful character to play now, because you can play consistently well all game, and I think on paper she's still like one of the best characters in the game if you play her perfectly. The problem is practically, when you're playing good players, they're going to make a read against you, and all other players now need is one read at high rage percents to get an early kill on Sheik. So she's really prone to getting janked out now. And I think she's a character that's I might even be lower than this on the tier list, but she's probably going to stay this high because there's so many good good players like Void and Mr. R, and I don't know if Zero's going to stick with Sheik. We'll see when he comes back. He's on a break temporarily. But there's a lot, Vinny, there's a lot of the top players in the world use this character, and they're probably going to stick with her through the nerfs because they've invested so much time in her. So I think she's going to probably be higher on the tier list than she actually deserves, just because she has so much representation and so much top talent playing her. So guys, that's that's it for the top tiers. I will be back in my next video for the high tiers, so I hope you stick with me, and give me your comments below. I want to know what you think. And again, I'm not like saying this is perfect and everything. This is just what I think right now as a mid-level player. So that's it for now. I will see you all next time. Have a good one.